So I just want to start with this model again, and it's to understand the progression of multiple chemical sensitivity and electrohypersensitivity. It's very important to understand that these two are related. And for those medical practitioners that checked in tonight, if you have patients that displays multiple chemical sensitivities, they need to be very cautious that it could develop into electrohypersensitivity or vice versa. And often we actually see these two progressing at the same time. And that's why the model talks about multiple chemical sensitivity as well as EHS electrohypersensitivity. Now, what typically happens is it starts off with a lot of vague symptoms over a long period of time. Low-grade food intolerances, sensitivity to smells, fatigue, muscle soreness. At this stage, work and social life is still intact. It's not so bad. You go to the doctor frequently, you don't feel too great, but you're managing it. And you are able, by popping a few painkillers, you are able to manage the symptoms at hand. Typically, there are a series of triggers, and this could be anything from the fact that your immune system is under pressure. You could have had some emotional upsets, trauma. It could be that you had a certain chemical exposure. It could be that you had tick bite fever. You could have had mold exposure. There's a whole bunch of those, and I'll talk a little bit more about that later. So it's a series of small triggers that culminates into these symptoms. Then there's typically a prominent trigger, which takes you to severe MTS or EHS. And this is where your food intolerance is increased. That's typically, funny enough, one of the first real symptoms. You know, and a lot of people today say they've got IBS, and I'm like, maybe you just have food intolerances, and just maybe the cause is EMF. Increased sensitivity to chemicals or EMF, the one or the other or both. And your social life is starting to become affected. You start to avoid social interaction, and you actually always feel sick. Then, after a while, you have another trigger. Maybe a family member passed away, something, you know, we often see that emotional triggers play a very big role. At this point, inflammation takes over. You develop severe food intolerances, severe fatigue, symptoms like insomnia. Your body is always fighting illness. You develop severe sensitivity to chemicals and EMF. And at this point, your social and work life is severely affected. And it's affected by you isolating because people don't understand it. So the easy way for most people with EHS is to just isolate themselves and withdraw. It's when you get to this point that you're at a T-junction. And I need to emphasize, at this point, you can do one of two things, and literally only one of two. You can either do nothing, and at that point, if you do nothing, you're going to go into decline, and you will become functionally impaired or disabled. Or if you follow an integrative or functional medicine program, which is a journey, you can actually control multiple chemical sensitivity and EHS. You can reduce your symptoms to a point where you can actually have quality of life. Everything I do is about helping people find ways of reducing the exposure and getting to a point where they can actually have quality of life.